you a count whenever ready, Pastor. Ready? He'll give you a count and ready to go.
Okay.
All righty, open it up on you, David, in three, two, one, go for it.
Hello there. This is Pastor Dave Bryan coming to you from Glad Tidings and the Embassy of Heaven here in Yuba City, California. And it's time to roar. And speaking of roaring, we had a Rip Roaring conference just last weekend. We had a Friday, all day Saturday, and Sunday conference here at Glad Tidings called REV17. And boy, did we have a Super Bowl team. We had uh, nearly 24 speakers that came from all over the United States and some of the best. And we had a wonderful time. So, this is just a recap from that. I want to encourage you to check it out on social media. You can go to the churchofgladtidings.com, churchofgladtidings.com, and you can also go to peaceofheaven.life and look for media clips, pictures, and just reviews for the weekend. But we had a really great time. I also want to let you know that if you go to the peaceofheaven.life, there's a store tab, and you can get all kinds of merch for Rev 17. We got some really cool hats, t-shirts, mugs, all kinds of stuff. Rev 17. You might ask us why we named it that, and so let me just break it down for you. First of all, the conference was a fundraiser for Peace of Heaven Children's Paradise. And Peace of Heaven Children's Paradise is a vision that got put in my heart now almost 2 years ago. And there were some children that were rescued from sex trafficking, and we couldn't find homes for them. And those children went back into the care of California Child Protective Services, and they disappeared. And of course, people are used to hearing that these days. But when you think about that, it's a travesty. Children don't just disappear. What that means when they say we lost 350,000 children at the border, or we lost 500,000 children at the border. Children aren't just lost. They don't just evaporate or disappear. What that means is those children were sold to people into sex trafficking, and those children will never be seen again. It's a travesty. It's an egregious evil. And so when this happened, and those children that could have been rescued actually went back into the system now nearly 2 years ago, I just asked God to give us grace to find a solution. And I vowed in my heart that that wouldn't happen again on my watch. Next time we heard about children that needed a place to go, we'd have a place for them. So that caused us to begin to search around for an adequate facility. We found a women's prison. It was a minimum security women's prison called the Leo Chesney Center. It had been shut down by the state of California, who outlawed competition from the private sector for prisons of any kind. And so the Leo Chesney Center had been sitting empty for many years, but they had maintained the grounds and maintained the quarters. And so anyway, we began to negotiate to try to buy that. We did get a contract for $4 million. The facility was worth $17 million, but again, it had been made obsolete by the California state laws that forbid anyone to run a private prison in the state of California. So, so there it sat, and we were able to negotiate a great deal on it. We got a contract for $4 million, which is still a lot of money. And we began to pray into the vision of a place that was beautiful, a place that fulfilled the admonition that Christ gave, that we should pray for the kingdom of heaven to be established in the earth so that the will of God could be done in the earth. That's sometimes called the disciples' prayer. But we begin to pray, Lord, these kids that have been rescued out of the jaws of hell, give us grace and favor, the ability and the resources to create a heaven on earth environment for them to be rescued into. And so that began a quest that's been ongoing now for, again, nearly 2 years. And we've been raising funds and looking forward to the end of this month in June 2025 is the extent of the contract. We had to have the money raised by then. So we decided to plan a conference for a fundraiser. We had raised about $2 million, which means we were halfway home, and we had to raise another $2 million to buy the property or lose the property. And so we planned the REV17 conference, again, as a fundraiser for the Peace of Heaven Children's Paradise. And why Rev17? Well, in the New Testament book of Revelations, in chapter 17, it talks about a corrupt system that it calls the Mystery Babylon, the city. And it talks about a corrupt entity that is called the Whore of Babylon. And it says that this evil, corrupt system with this spirit that empowers the system, again, Mystery Babylon and the Whore of Babylon, it says that they will make the kings of the earth rich through trafficking, and specifically mentions that they'll traffic in human souls. That's in, again, the book of Revelations, the New Testament, chapter 17. But there in that chapter, it says that she's haughty and arrogant and boasts that she'll reign as queen forever. But then it says, but she shall be brought down in a single hour and completely destroyed. And if you go on into chapter 18 of Revelations, it says the kings of the earth that were made wealthy through her trafficking will mourn the destruction of the whore and say, what happened to the whore that rode on the beast? She has been completely destroyed in a day. And so that to me is a very encouraging passage of Scripture. It does talk about the extreme evil at the end of the age and the wealthy of the earth, the kings of the earth being made rich by the trafficking of human souls, which is definitely the case today. And so just embracing the promise of God that this industry that is so foul and so perverse and so pervasive that it would be destroyed in a single day. And so we said, let's call it the Rev17 conference as a reminder that in Revelation 17, God promises that this evil industry of sex trafficking of children will be ended in a single day. It wasn't yesterday, it wasn't today, but at some point in the near future, I believe that if we all work together, we could see the fulfillment of this prophecy. So we called together the best people we knew that were already involved in anti-trafficking, and we did the fundraiser. We had a wonderful list. Let me just read through some of the people that were here. Rev17 speakers, and by the way, I want you to know this so you can go online and watch for them and listen to what they say. Pastor Troy Brewer, who is a pioneer in anti-trafficking. Pastor Troy Brewer and his wife and their ministry have rescued over 11,000 kids in other nations. And he was here and preached the paint off the walls. Everybody loved Troy. He also is on our board for the Peace of Heaven Children's Paradise. Mary Flynn O'Neill was here. Mary Flynn O'Neill, she is the executive director of America's Future. She, of course, has two full generals that are her brothers, Michael Flynn, the People's General, and Charlie Flynn, who is the commander of the Pacific Fleet for our military. But she's very connected. She's wonderful. I always greet her by saying, Hail Mary, full of grace and truth. She's a wonderful person and a good friend. She's also on our board, and she was here to talk about three generations. Her mother, and her grandmother all were fighting to save the children. And so we were very, very thankful that she was able to be with us. And then another member of our board is human rights attorney Lee Dundas. Lee Dundas really was an encouragement and an inspiration, as she always is. And she just really took the house down with her speaking. And again, she's not someone that's just visiting, but she's part of our regular board. And we had Jeff Zink. He was able to be with us. Again, not a part of a board, but a great guy. And he shared with us on Sunday. Kim Yater was here from Take Our Border Back, and then later Take Your Power Back. And it was great to have her. Mary Crowley was here, and she really challenged us to show up in the showdown and throw down. And it was an excellent time, and we were able to raise quite a lot of money as everybody responded to Mary. And then also Louis Herms. Louis Herms is running for governor of the state of California. Great guy. He's from screwbiggov.com. And Louis and his wife, Araceli, wonderful people, good friends of ours. They were here. And Louis also made a financial challenge and led the way by giving $1,000 donation to Peace of Heaven. And so a lot of money came in as people were inspired by the vision and followed suit. And both Mary Crowley and Louis Herms were part of that effort to invite people to participate in their giving. And then we had Pastor Dave Scarlett from His Glory was here. Dr. Doug Frank. Dr. Doug Frank is, again, part of our board. He shared about the bigness of the vision, a message called We're Going to the Moon. It was outstanding. Laura Logan was here, and Laura's always inspiring. Her husband, Joe Burkett, was here as well, and I've known Joe for a while, but he participated in one of the panels, and it was great to have Laura and Joe. And then we had several people that shared their testimony. Michelle Peterson shared the testimony of her son being groomed in high school by a high school teacher. And then Alonka Deaton shared her personal testimony of being sex trafficked out of a music studio as a young girl in South Africa. And we had Kathy O'Brien. Kathy O'Brien has written a number of books on MK Ultra and how to recover from that, and it was wonderful to have her. We had Craig Sawyer was here, Vets for Child Rescue, also Basil and Tina Boz. They are still here, actually. That's the Association for the Recovery of Children, ARC. They're doing a training here. And we had a number of others. Chris Brigard was here. Hope Beryl Green gave her testimony. Nicole Lady Grady was here to sing for us. And there were a number of others, including my dear friend, Dr. Christiane Northrup. She was here. And we had a really, really great time. Now, those are some of those that spoke, not all of them, but you can hear some of the best teaching, expose about what's happening in child sex trafficking. Really not a fun subject to talk about, a little heavy listening, but but we need to stare this down and recognize this is a major worldwide problem. It is not just somebody else's problem. It's all of our problems. It's in every major city, not just in the United States, but in the world. It's a massive problem. It is, just as God's word prophesied, it is making the kings of the earth wealthy through the trafficking of these human souls. But it was promised by God over 2,000 years ago that one day it would be destroyed in a single day. And so that's why we partnered with all of these that I mentioned. There were others on the list. I by no means mentioned them all, but we're partnering with people to all work together to link our shields together and to be a part of the fulfillment of the prophecy of Revelation chapter 17. And that's that the spirit that's behind this evil industry that makes the kings of the earth wealthy, that evil spirit and the system that it has established would be destroyed in a single day. I don't know what day that'll be, but I do know that when it happens, I'm going to be excited about it, and I'm going to be glad that I did everything possible to be a part of the solution. Now, remember, the big picture is Peace of Heaven, Children's Paradise. We're buying a minimum security women's prison. We're going to reform that and revitalize that and retrofit it. We're going to make it from a prison into a paradise for children. It's going to be a place of beauty and a place of restoration. And it's going to be a prophetic place because what we're going to do to the building will represent what will be done in the lives of the children that are housed in that building. And so this was a culmination of a 2-year process. We had raised $2 million. We had $2 million yet to raise. We did the REV17 conference. We brought in all these people. They were all very encouraging and helpful and inspirational. And we were collecting the money. And the good news is I was able to announce on Sunday afternoon that we did make our goal. And so this week now we're doing the paperwork to close on the Leo Chesney Center. I want to say thank you to everybody who gave online. I want to say thank you to everybody who was present that gave. It was quite a miracle. In those 3 days, we raised $2 million. And lots and lots of people contributed to that. Some obviously contributed much more than others. And we have one major donor that we're all really thankful for, that gave heroically and hugely. And we made our goal. And so now we begin the task of planning the effectiveness and the efficiency of all the processes to take care of these children. And we begin the reformation of the campus and all that it takes to transform the prison into a paradise and then get the children into those living quarters where they can be loved and educated, and people can pour love into them, and we can see their lives restored from the abject horror of sex trafficking into lives of love and grace and beauty that God intended for them. And so I want to encourage you to help us. You might be saying, well, I thought you met your goal. Why would we need to help? And the reason is because that goal was for the purchase price for the facility. Now we need to raise the money for retrofitting it, for re-landscaping, for renovating it completely, turning it from a prison into a paradise. And people have been asking how much is that going to cost. We're not sure about that, but our next goal, we met our first goal, $4 million. Our next goal is $2 million for the renovation processes and to get everything ready for the kids to come in to what is now called the Peace of Heaven Children's Paradise. And my vision is for it to be absolutely beautiful. These kids have seen the very worst of human degradation. And I just feel in my heart the compassion of Christ for them to experience a taste of heaven. And so we're rescuing them from the flames of hell, from the very jaws and the horrors of a hellish life. And we're going to put them down in a place that's as close as we can make it to heaven on earth. And so I want to encourage you to join us for that. You can come to the churchofgladtidings.com, look for Peace of Heaven, Children's Paradise. You can give there, you can volunteer there, or go to the direct link, which is Peace of Heaven. That's this kind of peace, P-E-A-C-E, peaceofheaven.life. And you can give, you can pray, you can volunteer. We're doing all of the above, and we need your help. So look for the clips. If you see them on social media, the reels and the pictures and the little data points, make sure that you share them with your followers and help us get the message out there so that you can be a part of the fulfillment of the Revelation 17 prophecy that the whore of Babylon will be destroyed. That whole evil system of trafficking and human souls will be destroyed in a single day. And when that happens, I want you to be able to say, I was a part of that. All right? So remember to pray for us. You can visit Peace of Heaven through the website, churchofgladtidings.com. Look for Peace of Heaven there. Or go directly to the website, peaceofheaven.life. And let us know who you are and how you can help. And remember, pray, give, share, and then let us know if there's some practical way that you want to be involved, okay? Thank you for joining us, and God bless you. Remember, wherever you are, it's not time to be passive. Remember that those days got us into the trouble we're in, but these are the days that it is time to roar. Thank you.